Welcome to my video on repairing your motion sensitive lighting with a low-cost Chinese made sensor. Like most of you, I've made good use of motion lighting around the house. I've got 5 operational right now. The safety of going outside and never having to worry about going into a dark area sealed the deal, and I'm very happy with all my motion lighting. My motion sensors are lasting upwards of 10 years the way I use them. Every time I've taken one apart to see why it failed, it had a bad track. Usually some plastic part breaks as well, so I wind up replacing a sensor head. That's where the unit you have in front of you comes in. Ordered it off of eBay, $5 including shipping. It's fairly well made. Usually takes about 2 weeks to get here in coastal South Carolina. Has 3 adjustments on the bottom. You have lux or light sensitivity, which determines when the light is going to turn on according to the darkness outside. Then you have time, which determines the amount of time the unit will stay on after it's triggered. Then you have sensitivity, which determines the range of the unit. The unit will pivot up and down 90 degrees, and you've got a 45-degree roll axis off of center. The wiring is 3 wires and straightforward. Your brown wire is the hot wire, blue wire is neutral, and the red is the load wire. It's auto sensing and goes to 220 volts AC. Now the catch, and there's always a catch when you get something that's inexpensive. In this case, it's the threads. They're not NPT, and near as I can tell, they don't correspond to any metric. Near as I can measure, they're like 16 millimeter by 2 millimeter in pitch, and that doesn't correspond to any standard metric thread that I can find. So an adapter is going to be necessary to take these threads from this back to 1/2 inch NPT, as all of your electrical connections are. In my case, the base was in pretty good shape. I just cleaned it up with the wire wheel on the grinder and repainted it, and this will be reused. The problem I had originally in taking it apart was one of the bolts was locked in solid, so I had to grind it back flat. So I'm going to take this and turn it 90 degrees. This is the new part that I had to buy. This, in this case, it's metal. Came from Lowe's. What it comes with is the 2 plugs and 2 mounting screws and a gasket. Now for the solution to my thread problem. Obviously these are cast for 1/2 inch pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the center out, and then I'll be able to slip it over this, turned up this way. The glue will go around the perimeter and then seal to this surface. So that way I'll have a 1/2 inch NPT connection, which will be compatible. Put the sensor in here. For the adhesive, I'll be using the same adhesive that I used to repair the Roku remote in a previous video. It's proven to be very successful, and again, this came from Lowe's as well. Okay, after about 15 minutes of whittling with the Dremel tool using a 1/8 inch bit and the 1/8 inch carbide, I've got it to where it's very tight. Now, I'll have to go back and screw it in place, but basically this is about what I had in mind. The only trick I've got left is I got to make sure I orient this thing right, since I won't be able to rotate it at the screw-in point. The only rotation I'll have will be this 90-degree roll axis. So I'll very carefully center this up and then make sure this is aimed in the proper direction before I glue it. And I'll show you what it looks like once I take it out. Here's the stock plug before modification. Here's the modified plug already mounted in the top of the light fixture. It's in there so tight I can't get it out, so I think I'll just glue it the way it is. Okay, here is the glued light fixture. I ran a bead around the inside, So it should be in there pretty securely. And I'll let this dry for 24 hours. Then I'll put it all back together and let you take a look at it. First with just the fixtures on it, and second mounted and operational. Here's the completed fixture with the lamp holders upside down and right side up. Lamp holder locations are approximate. I'll adjust those when it's in the air. And here's a completed light fixture installed and tested. I've had some of you tell me that I sure sound like the king. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. I got lots more to come, baby, lots more.